Okay, so a few years before I started teaching, I was a stay at home mom. The goal was to stay at home and be with my daughter and enjoy the quality time as much as I can before she began school. And as it actually eventually worked out, lucky for me, I ended up teaching in the same school that she attended. So our hours matched perfectly. So if she had a day off from school, I had a day off from school. We worked in the same place, if you will. She worked as a student and myself as a teacher. That was all great. But prior to that, being a stay at home mom, well, let me tell you something. You still need to make an additional income in most cases. So, that situation, wanting to be the stay at home mom and yet bring in a little bit of money, well, I did a few things at the same time. One of them was I provided childcare for other moms who, you know, needed the time to go to work. My rates were reasonable. And in addition to that, to bringing in the income from that stream of income, I also, in fact, started a cleaning lady kind of a business. I was at first a solopreneur at that. So sometimes people want to know, can you actually make money doing that? And the answer is absolutely yes. It all depends on how much effort and how much work you are willing to put into it. I was smart though, because what I did, I positioned myself in high rise apartment buildings, for example, where I knew a lot of people kind of sort of knew each other. And I relied back in the day, which was really the norm back then. This was pre internet times. Keep in mind, pre internet times. All right. Back in the day, we relied a lot on good word of mouth. And I had established that. And I had a number of clients in the same building. They just had different days of wanting my services coming into to being. So for me, it was mainly in the same place. There were maybe two other houses in another location, one, two, and the same building that I worked in with multiple clients. I thought that was pretty smart for back in the day. And it did work out. But Jan, how about pricing? That is so I have to say it all depends on your situation, because the beauty part, I didn't carry any equipment with me. No. First of all, you do run a risk if you're using your own equipment and you're going from different places, transferring germs from place to place, and for example, allergens and things of that nature, or other germs going on. It was my preference for the client to supply me with their equipment. And that's what I did. So I didn't carry any heavy equipment. I just didn't do that. What I did bring with me was some like basic like cleaning sprays and things of that nature. Should a client not have it, or they just ran out, or they didn't have enough of, I brought those basic things with me, and some wipes and things of that nature. But Jen, what about people that have more than one bathroom? Exactly. That's the difference in pricing. Many times the person may have had, let's say, a two-bedroom, two-bath condominium, for example. I'm not going to charge the same rate as the person that has a one bedroom and one bath place. You see where I'm going with this? So it all depends. It depends on the location, how much traveling I would factor in. If I was asked to go somewhere like really far, I tried to avoid that. Okay, that way I wouldn't have to increase, charging higher prices. But you could start off very, very small. It does not cost a lot of money. And really, it was at a point where things were really starting to expand, that at one time I had other people that I helped get jobs, and they would, kick in some percentage. I would help them get the job, and they would kick in the percentage of what they made. So that was another thing you could do. You could support a cleaning business like an agency type thing, and not pay a dime I mean, excuse me, and not actually physically dust anything or vacuum or scrub. Okay, you don't have to get your hands wet or dirty if you want to get into types of cleaning businesses. Obviously, the cleaning thing branches off not just for residential, but there are people that want to do commercial cleaning. Okay, there are people that are paid great money to do windows, people that have paid great money to, let's say, spray down and hose down a parking lot. There are people who literally get paid to wash out trash cans. There's a recent trend in the last few years of people who don't want to deal with washing their own, trash cans outside their houses, or bringing the garbage over to a truck and then returning. I'm not even kidding you. And there is good money to be made by that. You do not need a lot of startup, okay? Especially if you're starting off as a solopreneur. See, here's the thing. A person today, there are a lot of financial challenges today. I'm not saying there aren't. People are getting pink slipped left and right. We hear a lot of stories about a lot of great things, and then I hear a lot of stories about not so great things. So that's why no matter what story is going on around us, we have to create our own chapters in our lives. We have to create our own story, okay? Like, for example, in my case, my desire was to remain a stay-at-home mom. While I was self-employed at that time, I still designed my own hours and made sure that I spent quality time while my daughter was little before going to school, because those years go by very, very fast. But there's still years that are going by. You still have bills to pay. Prices always fluctuate, and usually in the upward direction, right? You have to survive. So in order to do those things, you have to have a plan. I have always said this, and I even said this to my students. The biggest difference between success and failure in life is what? Having a plan or not having a plan. Does having a plan guarantee everything is going to go the way you want it to? No. But having zero plan, you can just pretty much bet on zero success, because a desire without a plan is, guess what? A wish. Okay. Some people say a dream. I say it's a wish. A desire without a plan is only a wish. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with wishes, but don't expect anything else from it. Okay. So I started small when I first started my cleaning lady type thing. Are you interested in being a cleaning lady or a cleaning gentleman or whatever it is? Listen, that is up to you. That is, I have to say, fast money. And today, everyone has a huge advantage I did not have. You know what I had to do? I had to make leaflets. I had to make flyers, brochures, not brochures, really good business cards on a very limited budget. Okay. So I got some business cards made. Make sure that you make, here's what helped me a lot. Three things. Community boards, okay, like the kind where you like put a stick pin in, a poster, a push pin in, and just advertise your business, right? And like maybe put some cards up on it. That was very helpful in the condominium building. That really, got the name circulated. Then I spent about $10 a month on an inexpensive, back then, voicemail. Okay. And what I did was I created a clear message. One of my favorite things to do, right? Make messages. I created a clear message and I outlined everything for the would-be client. They would leave their phone number and express their interest and their need. And I would get more of an idea, of course, when I contacted the person. So, strong suggestion, create a voicemail message that sounds professional, very clear, okay, clearly, and also create some business cards. A good way to start is with a person actually that that is actually in need of your services, and they could like be objective with you, and like you wouldn't get offended. You could have done this a little better, or I suggest you do this and that in the beginning time. This is just again just a suggestion, and this is just a bonus upload. But before I taught, I had no problem with cleaning. There's nothing wrong with being a cleaning person. Sometimes we just are around such snobbiness, really a bunch of snobbiness in our society. Where would we be without certain service jobs? You tell me, like for example, people that work the sanitation. Where would we be without our sanitation workers? Where would we be without certain cleaning services? Honestly, yes, they are dirty jobs sometimes, but they do pay. And if you're looking to begin a business, there's so many resources out there. You don't even have to carry around equipment. I never carried around not one piece of equipment. Never. I used the client's equipment and it worked out better for them and definitely worked out better for me. Everybody's situation is different, but I'm just sharing with you what I did. I mean, at least a sample of it. Let me see. I just want to mention about hours. My hours of operation back in the day were banker's hours. Basically, I call it that. They were 8 to 4 p.m. I am not an evening person. The whole world knows that by now. I must have said it 1,000 times. I get very tired by like 6 p.m. I'm definitely not interested in cleaning houses at 6 p.m. But for me, what worked for me, and that's the beauty part, it's your business. You are the boss. You make your own hours. So for me, I would not accept any. The typical cleaning job for me would run about 2 to 2.5 hours. So it wasn't impossible for me to work 3 clients in one day. All right, everybody. I just thought you'd be interested to learn this. Yes, you can make money from it. Go for it. You don't have to be brilliant. I was not brilliant at this at all. I just said, I'm going to do what I do all the time at home, except this time I'm getting money for it. Have an amazing, fantastic day, everybody. Take good care of yourself and your amazing family. Super thanks are welcome. Yeah, they're really welcome. Thank you. Oops, this thing's giving me a hard time again. Good luck on me clicking off.